purchased the Ciro shock and awe LED lighting system from my Harley to light up the engine and the forks. I'm going to install it today, but I'm not going to do a complete install. But if you're really interested in finding the right way to install them, the way I did it, I used Ryan Erlacher's Law Abiding Biker. You can find him on YouTube. He does a complete install, and that's what I use to install it. He does a great job. I'll put the link up here. So let's start with the unboxing. Air. Here are the fork lighting unit. And here's the shock and awe light LED lights. Comes in the package. We have the 5 LED pods. These would be the strips. There's 2 of them. Here's the wire ties to clean it all up. Obviously instructions. Here's the Bluetooth controller and on-off switch. And these are the connectors and the splitters to run the wires up. In this box is the fork-mounted lights. Let's open them up. Comes with a fork mount for each side. Left and right. And the adapters and screws and all the stuff. I'm going to keep them separate so I don't get the 2 mixed up. So before we begin the project, I laid everything out so I know where everything is and I can find everything. And now I'm going to get going. Okay, first thing we have to do is take the seat off. Phillips head screwdriver. Then we got to get to the battery, so we have to move the wiring. we go. Now we're going to connect the power source and the on-off switch to the batteries. Then we're going to through down so we can get to it. So now we've got two connections, two channels to run the lights. We're going to use one channel to run the engine lights and the other channel to run the fork lights. So right now I'm going to put a splitter in here so that we can go to each side of the engine. The kits come with this dielectric grease, so we're going to add some of that. To the connection. I guess that prevents water from getting in. Okay, that's the first connection. Okay, so one is going to go to the right side and one's going to the left side. Then the first place we're going to mount is up here on the spine of the bike. We're going to use a pod, one of the short ones. The long ones are called strips. The strip, this is a pod. First thing we want to do is prep the area. We want to rub it clean with rubbing alcohol so that these stick. First one I'm going to mount up in here. Again, we're going to stick this in the grease. Connect. Make sure. Okay, so now we're gonna do this live, connected to the battery, so I know that everything's working as we're going along. So we remove the 3M backing from the tape from the pod. And then just hold it for like 60 seconds so that it gets a good stick. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to install a splitter on the top of there, because I'm going to run one set of LED, one of the strips along the tank base, and I'm going to bring one into the horn. So the first thing we'll do is we'll clean them off. Now I'll connect the splitter while that's drying. Under the spark plug wire, and then I got one to go to under the tank and one to go there. So for under the tank, we're going to use the long strip. So for every one of these, I'm going to put it in backwards before I get it right. There we go. And then we're going to run it like that. Just kind of scoping out where it's going to go. Remove the backing. And again, we're going to hold it up for 60 seconds. Add some grease. We're going to put a pod up to the next one. Plug it in. I got it the right way. There we go. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is going to run a pod to the horn cover, and we're going to use a 10-inch extension and then the pod. So we're done with the left side of the bike. Now we're going to the right side of the bike. So to make this easier, we're going to remove the air filter. It'll make it easier to put the lights on. Okay, now we're going to start just like we did on the other side. We got the splitter coming out over here for our second set. And we're going to put a pod up here just like we did for the other side. Going to remove the backing and put it up nice and tight. And again, I'm going to hold for 60 seconds. Okay, we're going to connect the splitter in here. And then we're going to run one under the tank here and below the air filter. And on this side, there's a little groove. We're going to run it in the groove. It's up in there. I'm going to connect it to one of the splitters. I'm going to remove the backing. This one's going to go up underneath. So the next part of the installation would be installing a pod to go match the other one on the other side, and then a pod on the air filter. But I only have one left. So I went and looked at the box, and I'm supposed to have 6. I searched everywhere, I only have 5. Fortunately, I did an unboxing, and you can see when I opened it up, there are only 5 of the LED pods. So I'm going to call Ciro on Monday, have them send it to me. Not a big deal. When I get it, I'll just plug it in and run it up the top. But for now, I'll install the one here on the air filter. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use the 14-inch extension and plug it into the splitter and run it down along the air filter. And I'm going to run it up. Oh. Okay, so that's the installation of the engine lights. I'm gonna do some wire maintenance, make it all look nice, put the seat back on, and then we're gonna move to the fork. So now to put the lights on the forks, I'm gonna back out the fender bolt here. And I'm gonna replace it with the new one. Fortunately, that's a welded bolt, that helps. Okay, so I'm going to replace the other one, same thing. Okay, so I'm going to put a washer on each one. Then I'm going to put the LED illuminator. Okay, then another washer, then the nut. I'm going to tighten them from over on this side because that'll make my life a lot easier. That's one side, let's do the other.
So I want to say I'm real happy with the way the lights turned out. They look fantastic and they were real easy to install. I'm also really impressed with the Ciro customer service. They were real helpful in getting me that light they forgot to pack. I also forgot to mention that there's an app for it that I control the lights on my iPhone. So that's really cool too. To wrap this up, if you're thinking about getting the lights, definitely go out and get them and install them yourself. It was a piece of cake. You'll be real happy that you did. Ride safe.